Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of this Nirvanic Journey where we are aligning our health with our enlightenment. Today I'm going to just talk to you a little bit about how words can either affect you in a positive manner or in a negative manner. Your words are super duper powerful, and I was going to give you a couple of suggestions and a little story. I'm going to start with a little story written by, the author's name was Amanda Tust of the Yoga Journal in the January-February 2020 issue, okay? And I found this story and it was so touching. I said, you know what, I need to do an episode on this, okay? All right, so the story goes like this. It's about a little boy who was, the summer before his 8th grade year, he had saved up his own money and bought himself a bicycle. They lived in an apartment. His family lived in an apartment in Lancaster, California. His father was an alcoholic, and sometimes his father would stay home from work a few days from being drunk or even weeks at a time. His mother was clinically depressed and was in the bed most of the time. His little brother, basically, he was left to fend for himself and his little brother while his dad was drunk. And his brother was suffering from some neighborhood bullying, okay? So Dodie felt the need to protect his little brother, and he ended up getting in fights with people, okay? So he felt terrible about that, and he was just feeling so hopeless. He was having to cook food for the little boy. He was having to, make sure that him and his brother ate. And it was just a really, really negative and bad situation. So he got himself a bike. He bought it with his own money. And that was kind of his escape route, to get away from the house sometimes, just get away from his neighborhood, okay? And just kind of, check out a little bit every now and then, like kids need to do, because kids should not be having to carry that load. Okay, so he ended up one day riding his bike to a local magic shop. And the lady that worked inside, her name was Ruth. And she was very sensitive. This is what I want to drive home right here. She was very sensitive to the purpose she was put on this earth, okay? Every single one of us has a divine purpose for being here, okay? We know when we're not doing what we were sent here to do, okay? We know we're not doing what we chose to do prior to coming here. We know when we're not, because we're not being fulfilled, okay? Now, I'm not talking about go quit your job tomorrow and just say, F it, I'm quitting my job. I don't mean that, ruin your family. I mean that we need to be searching and figuring out what is our higher calling, what is our purpose here on earth. Okay, well, this lady, Ruth, apparently had gotten in touch with her higher purpose. And let me finish the story. Ruth talked to him. She helped him open up, basically. She gave him a free stage to be able to talk about everything that was happening at home, how it made him feel. And then she told him that he was worthy. She gave him a safe and compassionate place to share his soul. She told him that if he was open to it, okay, that she would teach this young man a way that he could let go of the guilt and worry that he felt for his mother and brother, as well as the resentment that he felt towards his father, okay? Ruth taught Dodie how to pay attention to his feelings without reacting, taught him how to do breath work, taught him meditation, as well as how to say I am affirmations such as I am worthy, I am loved, I love myself, I love other people. She also taught him how to set positive intentions for his life, for his future. But according to Dodie, as a grown person who was interviewed by the girl who wrote the article, the most important thing that Ruth taught Dodie was how to unblock his heart by offering unconditional love to other people as well as himself. She taught him to love himself, and that what was happening around him was not his fault, and that he had no control over it. And that's where a lot of people get messed up, is they carry that guilt around their whole life, okay? Well, happily, I'm happy to report that Dodie is now a professor of neurosurgery, as well as the founder and director of the Center for Compassion and Altruism Research and Education at Stanford University. Without Ruth, who knows? Without Ruth, who knows? Did I say Ruth? Without Ruth, who knows where Dodie would have been, It was like Spirit knew that Dodie was on this earth for a bigger purpose and put Ruth right in his way so that she could help lift him out of that nastiness that he was in, okay? This is a true story. And, many of you will remember years ago, we used to have emails that kind of circulated, and there was an email about the little boy who was on his way home from school. He was carrying all of his books, and he was planning on committing suicide. and Jock from school saw that he dropped his books and was like, oh, let me help this kid pick up his books. And he said, why don't you come home and, here, come spend the weekend with me, whatever, we'll hang out, play basketball. Well, he ended up being his best friend, and turns out the boy was going to commit suicide, and he didn't want his mom to have to clean out his locker. I'm just telling you that you don't know who you were put in front of for a reason. Have compassion. Have mercy on people when they're in a bad mood, and your waitress is in a bad mood. Who knows what she's been through? Who knows what anyone has been through? We don't know, be nice to everybody, because everybody's having a hard time. You just don't know. Okay. So, this is like, people that are nurses, doctors, people that take care of people in rehabilitation homes, people that work in rehab centers, where, drug addiction and all that is a part of their life. Whatever you find is your personal means to show compassion to your community, your church, your family, and find a way to help others. I promise you, this is going to help your depression. This is going to help you if you suffer from depression or loneliness or any of that kind of stuff. This is a instant cure for depression and loneliness without even needing medication, okay? Also, I'd like to recommend a movie. So that was a touching story. I'd like to also recommend Patch Adams as a movie to watch. IMDb, the scores on there, because the people that rate stuff, everybody needs to go rate it, okay? But the people that didn't like it are primarily going to be the ones that rated it. And it gets low ratings on IMDb. I don't agree with them, because I feel like it was an amazing movie with Robin Williams. Pretty much any movie that Robin Williams is in is amazing or was amazing. But yeah, Patch Adams is wonderful. A wonderful story about how you can change people's lives by bringing laughter and happiness and hope into their life. Okay, so I would recommend everybody watch that movie. The World Health Organization calls stress the health epidemic of the 21st century, with up to 90% of doctors' visits being caused by stress-related illness. That's huge. Stress literally alters the functionality of our cells, the way our genes are expressed. It vastly weakens our immune system, leaving us prone to disease. I mean, you literally change your body structure whenever you are dealing with stress. In an article called "The Neurobiological Link Between Compassion and Love," I think that's through NCBI. It states that when we show emotions such as love to other people, it doesn't just have to be like eros love. It doesn't have to be like between two lovers. It can be love from a parent to a child or anything like that. Just loving on other people, loving working in a volunteer situation in a homeless shelter or whatever like that, serving food in a shelter. Okay, that produces a love, and it produces hormones that are oxytocin, dopamine, vasopressin, and opioids are some of the hormones that are produced. These are the happy chemicals in our body, okay? This is what makes us have an overall good sense of well-being, okay? When one gives of his time and resources to help other people, positive hormones are released in our bodies and they heal us, okay? This is why Christmas is our favorite holiday, okay? Because we're not doing things for ourselves. When we're stuck in our own little lonely, thumb-sucking, fetal position in our bed, stuff like that, and we're not out being a servant to other people, loving on other people, giving to other people, it's a sure thing that you're going to go downward on your vibration scale, okay? We're trying to get our vibration scales up, right? We're trying to be on a really high vibration, and that's love, joy, peace, all of those good ones. Also, speaking of the Bible even states in Proverbs, the NLT version, gentle words are a tree of life, and a deceitful tongue crushes the spirit. We have to be very careful what we say to our children. You are the laziest kid I've ever seen. My God, what is wrong with you? I mean, those kind of things are like, you don't want to say those things. And if I've ever said anything to my kids or, got mad at them, because I'm kind of like, I like things clean, if I got onto them, I went back and said, look, you are not a bad person. That was not about you. That was about me and about something inside of myself, and I've had to apologize to my kids several times. You want to be very careful what you say, because what you say to your kids is what they will become. If they're not the laziest person you've ever met on the face of the freaking earth, like you told them, okay, they will become that, okay, because they're only going to go as high as the levels that we set for them, okay? Primarily. Some kids, can soar above whatever, but Anyway, Proverbs 25:11 also says, a word fitly spoken or spoken at the right time is like apples of gold and pictures of silver. If you or your children or anyone you know is suffering from an overall funk or clinical depression or anything like that, there are so many volunteer things you can do. Go visit nursing homes, ask the people at the front desk who does not get visited, and go visit that person. Anything you can do that's selfless and that is self-sacrificing, okay? I'm going to link a YouTube in the description box below so you and your family, or you and whoever's with you, can watch a video about water changing molecule structure according to the energy of the words and the music and the vibration that's related, okay? So you may have heard of the experiment, Dr. Emoto, I think is his name, Moss or whatever. But anyways, I'm going to put a link in the description box below. I already have it linked in my document. So I want you guys to watch that video. It is amazing. It proves everything with a cellular structure goes in the negative way if it's put around negativity, even music with low vibration. Okay, I would not say that. If somebody, okay, so what I was going to say was, I said, this is not hocus pocus. I didn't want anybody to think that this is like, oh, it's like some kind of weird magical thing. It's not. It's not hocus pocus at all. It's our energy field. We all have an energy field. We all are a ball of energy. Everything, everywhere is energy, okay? And so have you ever walked into a room and felt like you could cut the tension with a knife, okay? Or gotten home from work and maybe you and your husband haven't been getting along, you and your wife haven't been getting along, whatever. It's not only do you dread going home, but when you walk in, you just feel the tension. You can feel it. It's because we're all energy, guys. If we can just learn to control our energy, almost like those yogi people, that just sit and do meditation all day, okay? It's like, oh my gosh, they've got it down, okay? If we can figure out how to get our ego in line and in check and get it obeying us and not us obeying our ego, okay, then we can smash that negativity down, we can smash that selfishness down, and we can learn to live in a neutral vibration, okay, where we love and accept everyone the way they are, okay? All right. I would not say, oh, and by the way, if you know someone with a low energy field, if you have a low energy field and you realize, God, I have so much depression, I understand. There's therapists for that. There's YouTubes out the wazoo for that, okay? It is not hopeless. If you have a negative vibration and you feel like you've been in one in a long time, there is hope for you. If we can retrain our minds to meditate, have a grateful spirit. Okay, y'all, the key, and I've mentioned this in several of my videos, the key to joy and happiness and longevity and good health is gratitude. Okay, if we are thankful for where we are now, the universe will graduate us up monetarily, happiness-wise. If you need a new house, your house is falling apart. I don't know what it is you need personally, but whatever it is, you get your vibration right and you will be moved up, okay? It's gratitude. It's all about gratitude. There's a thing too called Ho'oponopono, I think it's called, and it's about, I'm sorry, it's my fault, thank you, I love you, something like that. I mean, just these things that you say, it's powerful. It changes you. It changes your molecular makeup in your body. We are like 70% water in our body. If you can change water by just taping negative or positive words onto a cup, imagine this is our body is made of primarily water, okay? So we all struggle. We constantly battle with our ego. Our ego wants to sit at home, watch Netflix, you just sit in the bed. That is not helping our spirit, okay? That is not helping our spirit. It's okay sometimes to binge watch. It's okay to watch TV sometimes. It's okay to just stay at home on certain nights or whatever, but make sure you are spending an ample amount of time taking care of yourself through exercise, getting outside, getting a lot of good sunshine, and giving to other people. Make sure you're a giver. You give to your community. You find a way to volunteer your time, okay? All right, thank you guys so much. I'm hoping and wishing all of you positive white light. I'm wishing health and happiness and complete peace and fulfillment to each and every one of you. And I love you so much. Namaste.